The NBA is back on NBC, and that's obviously not what I wanted to specifically talk about today. Ajay Mitchell, a guy, the former UC Santa Barbara Gaucho. Yeah, he was someone that before he was even drafted, my buddy is actually a clerk for a judge right now after having graduated law school before he sits for the bar. And he back in the day, when in college, he used to be an obsessive gambler, a degenerate gambler, loved his mid-major basketball. And he had told me about, I believe, AJ Mitchell, going off the dome. From what I remember, he's from Belgium, all right? Like, not even American born. He's a guy from Belgium. He actually played a little bit of pro ball. And he told me, watch out for this guy. Like, this is going to be a guy that he thought had NBA potential. So that's how I was originally put onto him. And I'm always glad that he had done that because, dude, last night he was cooking 15 minutes, 16 points, and he missed the second half of the year last year due to the turf toe. And that's the whole thing with a guy like AJ Mitchell. He's the one that I think in this whole era of second and first apron causing general managers like Sam Presti to have to do the salary cap gymnastics, he's going to be able to help them out tremendously, because I think for them it's going to be a game changer if you're able to continuously replenish the roster with players like AJ. And if you look at the current depth chart of the Oklahoma City Thunder, which as a squad, I think they're in a good position to continue to be good regardless of the depth. But having the depth is what makes you be a team that goes from being good to being a perennial contender, in my opinion. And yeah, Topic and Sorber are hurt, but look, it seems like if you're an OKC Thunder, you're going to either have a redshirt freshman year, redshirt rookie year as a first round pick, and you're going to be a second rounder or undrafted two-way guy that's going to end up exceeding, like being like really good at overplaying your drafted value. That seems to be a trend here. AJ is just one of those guys who's exceeding where he was taken, being a guy who was taken in the second round. And look, he's someone who's a combo guard with point guard like skills, 23 years old, 6'5", really solid player. And to me, when you have a guy who can play on or off the ball like AJ can, he can be in a small ball lineup playing the wing if they needed him to. He can be the lead ball handler if they want Shea and Kason to sit. So I really kind of like the optionality and versatility that AJ gives you. And the thing with AJ is the scalability of his game. He has been someone that, when given the opportunity, he has just continuously shown it can go up with the minutes. And last night, we were watching one team try to figure out how to play basketball without a point guard, while the other one had multiple guys who could handle the ball. And you could see almost two different teams out there when they were playing. So to me, I think AJ Mitchell is someone who's going to end up being really, I think, impactful or meaningful in how the roster development or construction of this team moves forward depth-wise, because we know the core, J-Dub, SGA, and Chet, are all locked up long-term. So that's fine. And we know Hartenstein isn't for forever. So when you look at the rest of this OKC Thunder squad, you know, hey, Kayson Wallace, SGA, Lou Dort, Trent Holmgren, Hartenstein is the starting lineup they ran right now with J-Dub hurt. But there's going to come a point where, are they going to pay Walls, or are they going to have to trade him because he's going to command $30 million plus potentially? Like, Caruso will be old one day. Will Aaron Wiggins become too expensive? Will they decide that Kenrich Williams wants more than part of the mid-level exception, and that's not something they want to pay? So having guys like an Ajay Mitchell, who could be the spiritual successor of Wallace. I know Wallace is more defensive first, and Mitchell's more of a score pass first type of guy. But yeah, that's like what I'm getting at is, I think you gotta look at him and understand that, yeah, this is someone who could end up having, in my opinion, a really solid year, being maybe not the team's sixth man, but being the team's microwave off the bench. And that's something I think it is going to be the most interesting part in all of this, is how Ajay Mitchell might be an example of how the Thunder introduce or merge talent into this team, because they signed him to a 3-year deal. That's the other thing, is like, he's locked up for the next 3 years, and having him on 3-year deals allows the bird rights and then they extend him. So contractually they have him in a good situation where they can retain him long term. I just think, yeah, he played 15 minutes only, but those 15 minutes showed that they could end up being what he is, and that's being an ultra efficient player who can go on both sides of the ball, but really be a scoring punch for the second unit, and someone who can play with different lineups due to being a really good scorer from all three levels, a good passer and ball handler, and someone who's a willing defender who fits Mark Dagnall's scheme. So Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch can keep rolling. What are your thoughts, guys? Peace. That's it. If you made it to the end, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll help out the channel it's on.